Hey guys, Andrew Bourget here for Ship Angel, head of customer operations. Appreciate you guys taking a few minutes out of your day to join us on what is our 11th Ship Angel Live. We're going to hopefully get through a couple different parts of the platform. Little housekeeping. If you guys are interested in Ship Angel, if you're interested in diving deeper into some of the functionality, some of the modalities that we service, we'd love to have a longer conversation. And so after this call, please reach out to us, comment on the live, send us an email. My email is andrew@shipangel.com. We'd love to hear from you. Ideally, we are a show, not tell type of organization. We'd love to show you the platform. We'd love to sign an NDA. We'd love to get your rates and show you what it looks like inside the platform so you can take advantage of these features in the future. So don't be a stranger. Please let us know. If anyone has any questions during this call, please drop a note in the questions. We'd love to hear from you, even if it's just a thumbs up based on what you guys are seeing. I'm going to go through a couple different things here in regards to the Ship Angel platform. We're going to talk about the AI upload process. We're going to talk and see the different modalities that we service and how we service them. In addition, we're going to review invoice audit and also our booking functionality that I think you guys will find really is an exciting future of where we're headed. Getting into the AI process. And so Ship Angel, fundamentally, we are an AI-powered ERP for the supply chain industry. And so we're developing suites of software that can help you with supply chain and moving cargo internationally. Our flagship product is what we call rate management. And so what we are able to do is utilize our in-house built AI model where we take in your rate sheets, we take in your PDFs, we take in any format in which your shipping rates or contracts or agreements are in. We translate, we format, and we put them inside of a singular platform for you and the rest of your organization to have access to. There are many others besides procurement logistics folks that want to know what is my rate on any given lane, what was my rate, or what are some of the other data points that are involved in my rates. We bring that all in, we process it, we present it on the Ship Angel platform. What we're able to do is give you essentially a system now on top of your rates. So traditionally, customers are using legacy technology that wasn't created to really manage and look at rates. You could probably put something in a repository somewhere, but at the end of the day, you're not able to manage, understand what your rates mean. With the Ship Angel platform on top of your data, organizing it and managing it, you now have a really intelligent platform to see all of your rates in different parts of your supply chain, truck, ocean, air, and multiple sub-commodities within. The system is really easy to use. About 75% of our customers spend that time here inside of search the most. And so what they're doing is they're coming in and trying to understand, what is my rate on a given lane? What is my best rate on a given lane? We're going to pick a repeat search here that we save at the bottom for Shanghai to New York City. And this is inside of our FCL Ocean product. From here, you're able to see a lot of information. What are the surcharges involved in this shipment for this carrier on this lane? What is the potential schedules that I want to look to book on and get on? Additionally, what is on my all-in cost? What's my transit time? And then additionally, how does my rate compare against other rates, my Hapag-Lloyd rate, which is a little bit more, or potentially even my MSC rate, which is a little bit more. But we also do is allow you to understand, what does my rate mean? Is it fast or slower than the market? And so transit time, the Ship Angel data point will tell you that it's potentially 2 days longer than what you were budgeting for previously. And you now understand, am I fast or slow? In addition, you can understand what your rate means by understanding now, how does my rate compare to the market on this rate? And so on this lane, Shanghai to New York City, this MSC rate for a 40-foot high cube on the long-term market is only 1.5% better than the market average. What you're able to do very quickly here in a matter of a minute or so of me showing is go from, what is my rate on a lane? What are the surcharges? What is all the information that surround that rate? And oh, by the way, what does my rate mean in terms of competitiveness or transit time? Am I slower or faster on this lane? All of this is accessible right here from the search functionality. Additionally, if you have things like demurrage and detention, We can also capture that so you're making a more informed decision if I'm trying to make a booking, which I'll show you guys at the end of the near the end of the demo. Additionally, I don't need to just search for my FCL rates. Maybe I have, a 200 kilo pallet to move that I need to get it there in a similar time frame, but I can't afford the cost of an air freight shipment. I can also search for my LCL rates. And so I'm going to do a quick LCL search. We got some rates that were expired. So let me go back into October, and I can show you some of these LCL rates. They're not working right now. And so what's going to be useful here is not only can you search your FCL, but you're also going to be able to search your less than container load to understand between this origin, this destination, what is my rate? What are my costs involved with LCL? We also give you the ability to look inside the air freight section. And so from here, you can now look at your air freight rates. What are my rates between my airports? What are my rates between my warehouse and my customer's warehouse, or vice versa in the buying or selling process? And so I'm going to do a search here for air freight. And what we're going to be able to do is see all of your rates on these various lanes and get, again, more contextual information. What's my transit time? What are my departure days? What are the surcharges involved? In this case, it's a door move from Taunton, Massachusetts to Copenhagen, Denmark. Maybe I want to know what's my delivery cost based on weight, based on a minimum. What are my costs involved on this shipment to be able to make a decision on, hey, who am I going to ship with, but also really truly understanding your rates and understanding the process around your rates. And so this is viewable for a lot of rates inside the air freight rate section. What's useful is we still get that same benchmark ability. And so I'm going to go back to and do a different air search. I'm going to do Bangkok to LAX as a recent search. What we're going to be able to see here is now I can see my rates on this lane, but I can also see what's the market on this lane. And so I can pull open this and understand based on my rate on this lane, I'm 251% above the market average. If I'm going to ship on this lane, maybe I should have a conversation with my provider, Siva in this case, to say, hey, let's maybe refresh the rate. Maybe your rate's a little high. We need to talk about this. It can really pick out some really good opportunities where you can understand, again, what does your rate mean? Not just what is it or what was it? What does it mean? How is it made? What are the pieces of that puzzle? And ultimately, is it competitive or is it not competitive? Additionally, I can now also search my trucking rates. And what's useful here is all of our customers are international ocean shippers, which means they're moving cargo internationally on boats in containers. Those containers don't just miraculously get on the ocean vessels. They have to get loaded at warehouses. In order to pick up at the warehouse, there's a truck move involved. What's useful is our system can manage both drayage, over-the-road trucking, intermodal trucking. We have customers who are also utilizing the platform for rail car moves. Anything that's an origin and a destination from inside one country to another, or potentially international, when we think European trucking, all of it can live here inside the trucking. And so I'm going to do a search from Boston, for example, and see what rates do I have from Boston. I have a Boston to New York City rate. It's a little over $1,000. I have a Boston to New York City rate for DSV. It's $1,200. We should probably use the above rate before we use the second rate. There are many different ways for us to put rates in here. It could be your 53-foot trucks. It could be your refrigerated trucks. All of it can live here in the environment amongst even potentially your drayage costs. If I want to know what my individual dray providers are on various lanes, I can get the ability to bring all this information into one single place for me to search. What's useful is we can also attach drayage into the ocean piece. And so I'm going to go back to the ocean section and show you guys a rate card that represents the ocean portion of a move added on with a dray move. And so this is a door move from a location in Georgia to a location in China. And what's useful here is I can also see my dray costs attached to this ocean move. And so drayage is sort of living in two worlds. It's kind of an ocean move as well as it's also a trucking move, both of which we can present in the platform attached to your ocean moves or managed separately inside the trucking piece. This is super useful because now it's all in one place. I don't have to have one Excel document or 7 Excel documents based on my different modalities. I don't have multiple people who I have to now ask questions about the data. Hey, this hasn't been updated in a while. Is this surcharge correct? All of it is empowering and giving each user of the platform agency to understand what the rates are, both from a sourcing and procurement aspect, as well as to the sort of rest of the organization aspect. And so customers will have multiple departments on the platform. Their sales team might be involved here. And what's useful is the ShipAngel application is customizable in that we can create different users and have different roles. And so what's useful here is we can put a user in under a sales role, and they can have visibility to certain aspects of the platform, but also unable to see other aspects. The sourcing team wants to know transit time comparisons. They want to know market benchmarks. The sales team, maybe they don't necessarily need to know that. They just need to be able to search lanes and get rates, and do it across all of your modalities: ocean, air, and trucking, FCL, LCL, and LTL also included. I haven't seen any questions here, but if you guys are watching, we'd love to hear some of your questions or thoughts on the platform. So please don't be a stranger in the comments there. What's useful here is now we have all of your rate data in one system. The way ShipAngel is set up, we can very easily export that data, both on an API basis or as a simple flat file to download and then present to other systems in your tech stack. Additionally, the idea of that we're an ERP comes into play is now I can build kind of cool things on top of your rates. And so we view rates as the cornerstone of the pyramid of the international shipping journey, from getting rates to paying invoices. The most important piece is knowing what is my rate. We believe we've solved that, and we've solved that utilizing AI in the AI upload process. Additionally, is are now starting to get into what we really think are some cool features. The first of those is what we call invoice auditing. And so it's a really neat product where you no longer have to wade through 100 invoices every single month. Say you do 100 shipments a month, that's 100 plus invoices that you're going to have to wade through and understand, do I pay this invoice, or do I have to go back and yell at my provider and say, hey, you made a mistake here? What's nice is you can now upload all 100 of those invoices directly into the ShipAngel platform. You come in at the end of the month after you've collected all of your invoice bills, or maybe you do this on a weekly ongoing basis as you get those bills. You simply attach them to this system and you bring them into the platform. What we do is we utilize the same artificial intelligence machine learning model that we've created to process your rates, also can process your invoices. It knows your rates, it knows international shipping. And so when it's able to look at your invoice, it's able to understand what's your rate and what is the rate that you're being billed, and are they right or wrong. And so when an invoice comes in, we're able to say, hey, this one matched. The invoice total matches the expected total. You as a user do not need to spend any time looking at this invoice. If you want to, you're more than welcome to click in. You can look at the invoice, you can download the invoice, you can see the data that was parsed out of the invoice number, vendor, origin, destination, price calculation date. You can see all the surcharges on the invoice versus the rate data. It's all very easy for you to understand and clear. If you want to get into the weeds, you're welcome to. Most logistics people that I've met over my career, they don't want to know what goes right. They want to know what goes wrong. Manage by exception. And that's what we can allow you to do, is manage. I want to know what's wrong, what ones I shouldn't or shouldn't pay. And so we go into a discrepancy here, same process. You can see the invoice, you can zoom in down to the line items and understand, hey, what was I charged for basic freight? What size of container? All this is here for you. The same process you might be doing, having printed out an invoice from your printer, or pulling up the PDF on your computer, you're still having to look at that invoice potentially. We're going to parse the information, and then we're going to tell you, based on what we expect, based on your rate data, which we have, and we've been processing for maybe months or years. We know at this date, at this time, this many boxes, your base ocean rate should have been $2,500. They billed you $2,612. Ultimately, this is a $112 overbill. Maybe you shouldn't pay this one. Maybe you should go back and have a conversation with CMA and say, can you please check the base rate on this shipment? It's not what we expected. This is going to allow you to say, okay, let me sit down at my computer the Monday after I uploaded all of the invoices. I can go in here, filter by status, filter by matched. I can then extract all these invoices from the platform. I can go to my accounts payable and say, pay these 100 or pay these 99 invoices. And then on your side, what you can look at is now I can then filter down by the discrepancies, and I can start to go through this list and reach out to CMA and say, hey, this invoice number, that ends in 7850, it needs to be fixed. This base rate is wrong. This can empower you to know what you need to do without having to build that workflow, have to, in some cases, do that workflow. We can do it for you inside the invoice audit functionality. This is really what sets us apart from just a rate management system, is you now can do really cool things on top of your rates that save you time and ultimately are going to save you money as well. Additionally, and something we're super proud about at ShipAngel, is our ability to also now start to get into more than rate management, more than just invoice audit, but also the ability to now start booking that cargo inside the ShipAngel application. The way it looks and functions is I come into the platform and I want to know what rate I'm going to ship on. So you might have a shipment or a list of shipments that you need to make. One of them could be, I need to book, a 40-foot container from Shanghai to Antwerp, and I need to get it on a vessel at the end of November. To do that today, you have to go to your different providers. You have to check your spreadsheets. Then you decide, I need to go book with Maersk. Let me go log into the Maersk platform. Let me go and no shout out to Maersk in any way. Let me process the information there. Goes back to my email. It's a sort of a treasure map of process. You got to go here, 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 and here. What you can do in the ShipAngel application is say, I need to ship from Shanghai to Antwerp. I click search. I now have 4 different options based on my rates for my providers. I want to say, okay, the most cost effective is this Hapag 40-foot high cube rate of $16.59. Or if I want to spend a little more with CMA, it's going to cost me $100 more, plus or minus. But transit time may be important to me. I know I need to get it there faster. The factory has a safety stock, but we're sort of up against the timeline on that safety stock. So I might say, look, I can't do 51 days. The schedule data for Hapag on this lane is telling me it's going to take 51 days. If anyone's really into shipping here, you'll know Hapag is now a part of the Gemini Association of Hapag Lloyd and Maersk. Their focus on their network is a little bit more hub and spoke, a little bit more reliability versus speed. And so it shows here in the data, they're a 51-day transit. CMA is a 45-day transit. And so I might go with CMA, just even though they're more expensive. To me, I need to get it there before 51 days, not after 51 days. So I might decide to book this lane. Now I can book it in the same platform that I just reviewed the rate, and I reviewed transits, and I potentially also reviewed the schedules to say, which vessel do I want to shoot to get on? I now come into the booking screen, and I have to do 2 very simple things. One is I need to tell the system, when's the cargo ready? Not necessarily when do you want to ship it, when is it going to be ready to ship? And this is important because the material, someone might tell you, yeah, it's going to be ready, for the 15th. Is it ready on the 15th or is it ready on the 14th? So I can put a cargo ready day to say, look, this is going to be ready most likely the 14th or 15th. Let me choose something I can actually ship on as of Tuesday of November, the 17th. And let me select that 140-foot high cube, and now I can make this booking. This whole process is lived in one platform, one browser of your one tab within your browser. I didn't have to leave. I didn't have to have a second tab open. I didn't have to go check a spreadsheet, find another password. All of this is one system. Once that booking is made, it's now living inside this system, and you can now start to see the information that is associated with this. We're going to send an API powered booking into the ocean carrier, and we're going to be able to say, this is where it is in the process. Right now, this booking is pending. I do see one question, and I'm excited to answer this one. Parcel and courier rates are the one of two modes that ShipAngel does not currently store rates. We are a rate management for ocean, air, and trucking, and then multiple sub commodities within those three. Parcel and I joke and say space travel are the two modes of transportation that we do not currently provide for inside the platform, but it is on our roadmap. It is something that we do plan on doing. And so if you're interested, we'd love to talk to you and kind of show you what that roadmap looks like to getting parcel in the platform. Additionally, you guys will see here, now that this booking is pending, I mean, we've sent an API connection over to the carrier. We're waiting for them to confirm that booking back, but we can see where in the process this one is. Additionally, because we booked this on your rates, we know what the rate for this shipment is going to be. We have that data. We can show you that data very easily. This is your price. It's going to cost you $17.82. Additionally, we start to get understanding around contract number. We know your contract. We book against your contracts. Your booking reference, once that becomes available, will be listed here. Booking date, document cutoff, all of this information is going to be stored here for your visibility. Additionally, ShipAngel is connected into a visibility partner where once we know the container number on this, and once this actually ships, you're going to be able to see on this map here, where is your cargo? Is it, just leaving Shanghai, or is it halfway between Shanghai and Antwerp, approaching the Red Sea to potentially go through the Suez, or is it going around the Horn of Africa? You're going to get visibility to where your cargo is, and is it trending to be on time? That's in this scenario that we booked CMA specifically. We chose them because their transit time was faster. I'm going to get it to my warehouse sooner. You want to now be able to validate, is that actually, happening? Additionally, the platform is going to give you the ability to also submit the documentation to the shipping line that is required to make this cargo move. And so this is a booking that is currently pending because we just made it. I'm going to go to our booking section. And so now we have a very large overview of all of our bookings. We can filter by statuses. We can filter by things I need to do. And so we can create to-do lists for users by saying, look, there's something you need to do in order to allow this shipment to progress or move. Most of the time, it'll be shipping instructions. Sometimes it could be VGM. Sometimes the bill of lading copy needs to be confirmed. All of this is done in one single platform within the ShipAngel application. And so this is a booking Antwerp to Shanghai, the opposite of what we booked earlier. But we can see here, this is now in shipping instructions required stage. I can come in, I can go into the shipping instructions. I can start to enter in this information for all the different fields, seal number, HS codes, commodity, package type, quantity. There's a lot of information that needs to get put in. Additionally, on the right here, you'll see our Maddie. Maddie is your personal AI assistant for international shipping and logistics. We are able to train Maddie on your data, as well as train Maddie on all the data that we're able to pull in from third parties to show you information, as well as her there to be sort of a guardrail. If you need help, if you have questions, you can ask Maddie. Additionally, you can actually bring documentation like your packing list, like your commercial invoice. All of this information is now packageable. You can put it into the platform for this shipment, and it'll pull out that information, tell you who your consignee is. It'll tell you what your gross weight is, your et cetera, et cetera. And so we can allow you to put that information and edit it, but we can also allow you utilize a similar AI upload process that we do for rates, and a similar process that we're doing for invoices is use that artificial intelligence that we have built on our systems from scratch. This isn't a third-party LLM that we bring in. This is a ShipAngel model that we have created. Shout out to our AI team who has built this. It's extremely impressive. All of that allows your data to be secure, but also give you help when you need it and help you speed up some of the processes. This platform is going to allow you to get more done in-house. I no longer have to rely on my supplier to make that booking. They just tell me when it's going to be ready, and then I tell them this is the booking you're going to use. Oh, and by the way, we have you set up on a login for ShipAngel. When you're ready to submit your shipping instructions, you can go on that platform. You can do the shipping instructions. You can get the copy of your bill of lading. You can do all of that work that traditionally you'd have to interface on multiple platforms, or you have to hire out a 3PL to be able to manage that at origin. The only thing that the ShipAngel ERP booking system does not do is the customs clearance that's required at origin or at destination. You're always going to need a partner to do that. But what this can allow you to do is hopefully give your team agency, make bookings, make the right bookings, and do the process of international shipping in one place. It's much easier to teach them how to use one system than have them have 4 logins to 4 different ocean carriers and a 3PL. How do I get? It's simple, it's easy, and it's all done in one place for benefit of every BCO that's using it. That's the ShipAngel application. I kind of did a really good job here, hopefully, to show you guys, what is capable when you bring your rate data inside the ShipAngel application. We view rate management as the starting point and the stepping stone of your journey inside the ShipAngel platform. We recommend that if you're interested, let's talk. Let's show you a more lengthy demo. Let's hear some of the questions, some of the problems that your business is dealing with. We'd love to hear what you're challenged with on the day-to-day and show you potentially how the ShipAngel application can assist you with some of those challenges. But also, we want to show you and not just tell you. We bring in your data. We can process your data with the AI model that we use. We can show you what the platform looks like with your information inside of it. Additionally, there's some really cool features that we also have the ability to do what we call My Routes. I keep telling the team they should rename this My Greatest Hits. But at the end of the day, you're going to have access to a lot of information on your lanes. There's different ways we can slice and dice the data. There's a whole bunch of cool things that we can show you guys. There's a whole bunch of great, export functionality. We can connect to your other systems via API. There's a lot we can do to really solve the problem of what is my rate? What providers do I have? And can you talk to my other systems? Can you help me execute? And can you help me make sure I pay better? ShipAngel is trending towards hopefully a procure to pay model. We'll let you do the paying, but we're going to help you invoice audit your shipments to make sure you're paying the right values at the right times. My name's Andrew Bourget, head of customer operations for ShipAngel. Again, we'd love to talk to you guys and show you more around the ShipAngel platform. If anyone has any questions, now's a great time. Drop in the chat and say hello. But we'd love to kind of talk next steps if anyone's ever interested. Looks like we don't have any questions, which I understand. But I will show off one more feature here at the end is our AI Copilot. And so what we also do is we also give you that sort of MADI that we were showing in the booking process. We also allow you to use the same sort of interface to now ask questions about your rates, basic canned questions that we'll list here, or you can ask specific questions, what is my lowest 20-foot rate and Shanghai. Ooh, I can't spell. To Antwerp. And so you can ask very specific, or we can also ask broad questions, like what is my average rate on a given lane over time? And so what is my lowest 20-foot rate Shanghai to Antwerp? When I click send here, what the system's going to do is go back and sort of find the answer. We as interfaces and users of the platform can go search and find what your lowest rate is. But for some, it may take, 10 seconds to type something out. And in, a few seconds, you also get the answer. And so it's another great way to help you really understand what your rates are inside the platform. Awesome. I appreciate everyone for joining. I look forward to talking to all of you. Don't be a stranger. We'll talk soon.